I can't believe I'm saying this, but we actually have finally seen Assassin's Creed Mirage gameplay. I think it is. I think it's gameplay. I don't know. I don't know. Why is it being like this? Mate, Ubisoft, man, you're finna make me act up at this point, bro. Honestly, I don't know if this is gameplay or this is some pre-rendered animation type thing. Honestly, I don't know. There's YouTubers out there saying it's definitely gameplay, it's in-engine footage at least. It's just because it's an early build that it looks like a load of shit. And I'm thinking, I don't think it is gameplay. It might be game. All right, let me start from the beginning, guys. If you are unaware, you don't know what's going on, Ubisoft, I'm pretty sure through Access the Animus, they released a clip of basically a close-up of Basim with his robes, and then he unleashes his hidden blade. And before that clip shows in the same trailer, it says, and I'll read this to you guys, April Assassin's Creed Mirage Conception 2021. So I think it's basically saying, you know, this is when the idea for Assassin's Creed Mirage came around. This is when we thought, oh, you know what? This is going to be a fully fledged game rather than a DLC for Valhalla. It's going to be its full game. It's April 2021. We've decided. I think that's what it means. Also in the same photo, you see Basim wearing some completely different robes than what we've seen so far. Whether that's concept robes. In Unity, for example, you can wear the concept robes for Arno, and then they were later turned into the, you know, what we see and what we know him as today. So it could be that, but it also could be a different outfit you find in the game. I don't know. It's probably the concept look. Now, from there, it moves on. It shows Basim with his hidden blade, and he unleashes it. He ejects it. It's done in a really shoddy animation. Now, no offense to animators out there, maybe it's a really good animation and I am just an imbecile. I just don't understand these things. Perhaps. At this point, I think you should just show us gameplay. Like, if that isn't real gameplay, surely you could not just get the same sort of angle scene in actual footage and then show the hidden blade be unleashed. That would be like, oh my god, this is crazy, and we would be fully just going crazy about this, even with just that. The fact that they've shown us this weird animation really confuses me. Firstly, it makes me think, is the game just like nowhere near ready and like they just don't have gameplay to show and that's why they're not showing, and that's why they've shown us this weird animation instead? But at the same time, we've seen screenshots from gameplay. At first, I didn't think the screenshots from gameplay were actual gameplay. I thought they were just concept art made in a way to look like it was in the game, and to be honest, now I'm starting to think maybe that is the case. Have we really seen any gameplay screenshots? Is the game actually anywhere near done, anywhere near presentable? Should they have shown a trailer in a year's time, not now? Is the game being rushed out? There's so many questions to be had. If the game was only conceived of in April of 2021, it's been, well, I suppose it's been close to 2 years, but more a year and a half. Can you really get enough done in game by that time to show gameplay? I mean, I don't think so, which really makes me doubt the validity of those original screenshots. Of course, they're official, released by Ubisoft, but are they really in-engine screenshots, or are they concept art or rendered images to look like they're in the game? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to talk about more screenshots that have been released as well. So along with that weird trailer, by the way, I want you guys to let me know in the comments what you think this trailer footage is. Is it gameplay? Is it in-engine? Is it a weird animation? What is it? Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell at this point, because if it's textures, the textures don't look amazing, but they do look fairly similar to AC Valhalla. But the way the hidden blade comes out, it's obviously deliberately done like frame by frame, sort of in a way to... It's an art style. It's an art style. So is it just an animation? Honestly, I don't know. It could be really, really early animation footage, but I can't imagine they'd show us like a really unfinished animation. That would just be kind of weird. So I think it is just a actual artistic animation, not gameplay. For the sake of, you know, getting myself in the algorithm, I will say new gameplay. But technically it is, because I could be right. I'll put a question mark at the end. So yeah, don't hate on me. I love you. Also, I did manage to record my real reaction to this gameplay, this animation. This is my true thoughts, literally my just true emotional outburst, if you will. The audio quality is not as good because it was just on my phone, but here you go. What the fuck is that? It is a joke at this point. It's literally a joke. I don't even know, man. It's just some rendered ass shit. I don't care. Why can't we just see that but in the game. That, but in the game. You've just shown us a guy releasing his hidden blade, blah, 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 blah. What's the problem? Mate, honestly, they are... honestly, I'm confused, I'm dumbfounded, I'm bewildered, I am flabbergasted, mate. Honestly, it's funny because what are we seeing here? It's great that we're seeing more to do with AC Mirage than just the CGI trailer. The more they show us that isn't gameplay, it's like it's rubbing in the fact that we haven't seen gameplay, and it just really makes me start to think maybe they just don't have gameplay to show. I don't know, because in the interview of Access the Animus, now at some point in that video, I'm pretty sure he says, oh, gameplay's coming very soon, but not just yet. If it's coming very soon, then there must be something to be presented, but this stuff we've seen so far leads me to believe gameplay's not ready. So honestly, I have no idea. This is more of a, I want you guys to leave your own thoughts and we can get discussion going, because at this point, I don't know what's going on, mate. I don't. And maybe that's the fun of speculation. That's the fun of discussion. That's the fun of talking about a game before it comes out. We don't know, I guess. But honestly, I don't know what I'm saying. We're gonna now go into the newly released screenshots. Now again, don't expect to see gameplay footage. I'm pretty sure this is like a CGI type screenshot, because if you see in the bottom right, it says Digic. Now Digic Productions, or whatever their company name is, have done many Assassin's Creed trailers in the past. I'm pretty sure they did the Origins CGI trailer. They did the Mirage CGI trailer, and you can correct me in the comments if they've done more than that or if they did something else. This is their artistic look again at the game. I wonder if they did a longer CGI trailer, like an extended one with more footage, and these are screenshots from that, and maybe we'll be getting that soon, or a second trailer. Honestly, as cool as these trailers are, and as amazing as a job Digic Productions do, I need to see gameplay, not another CGI trailer. You're gonna gas me up, you're gonna excite me, and you're gonna get a load more videos out of me if you do another CGI trailer, but I think we're owed gameplay. And somebody might say, oh, they don't owe you anything. They do, because we give them our money, and they've let us down in the past, and I want the game to be great. I want it to be great, but I want to be reassured that it's great so that I then give them my money for a valid product. So I feel like they do owe us gameplay. In this first screenshot, I guess he's about to chop his finger off. There's a lot of different hidden ones surrounded around Basim. This likely reflects the part of the trailer when he does chop his finger off for the Creed. This is Basim's initiation, which means at this time, he is likely around 17, 18 years old, as in one of the prior interviews with one of the developers, Access the Animus, did. The developer said that in the beginning of the game, he is 17 years old. Really, I think this is just another angle to what we saw in the trailer, more of like a wide angle rather than a close-up. Now here, there's a few little details I want to go into detail on. So this is basically what we saw in the trailer, but again, another interpretation, another angle. And by the way, looking at this image, it makes me think this is actually just concept art. Again, this is his sword in the lava. It's not lava, but whatever it's called, the molten. And he's about to chop his finger off. Now, there's some weird thing, sellotaped, or not sellotape, because that didn't exist back then, but there's some weird sort of thing pushed down onto the table. Whether that is what Basim puts his finger on to give it a bit of room so we can chop his finger off properly, probably. Or could it be something else? Could it be a device of some sorts? Who knows? Let me know in the comments. Next photo, we have Baghdad. Again, similar to what we saw in the trailer, when Basim is sat on the bench, he's pretending to beg, and then all of a sudden he assassinates his target, or a guard. This is the same area. You can see the people on the right begging. Basim is probably in there somewhere, and he's about to assassinate. These are different sort of points of view to the trailer we saw. Here you can get a really good look at what the guards, the city guards, the Templars actually look like. There's some wearing robes, there's some wearing robes with armor. There's some wearing red, some wearing black. I assume the ones wearing perhaps red, you know, they're the standard city guards. They're the people you see on the rooftops that go, get down or I'll throw you down. You know, those ones. Or, it's not allowed for you to be up here. It's forbidden. Leave. Those ones, you know, they might be the standard ass guards. Not ass guards, but you know what I'm saying. And then you get the ones that are more robes, that maybe they're a bit higher up. You know, in Assassin's Creed 2, you'd have more of the brutes that would be harder to kill. In Revelations, you had the guys with the masks on. The begins with a J. Oh my god, Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Let me know in the comments. I forgot. But you know those that are harder to kill and they're really a pain in the ass. Maybe the road ones, a little bit like that. Obviously, you can see the architecture of the city here as well. Very sandstony, if that makes sense, if that's the right thing. Also, there's a lot of ledges to be climbed, a lot of handholds, which is very nice to see because, again, it reminds me that, you know what? Parkour is probably going to be a lot better than it was in the most recent games. Again, of course, this is just concept and it does not reflect gameplay whatsoever. But of course, to get a good idea of what the CGI trailer should be, I'm sure Digic Productions probably saw a little bit of gameplay to get a good idea. So it could reflect gameplay, maybe. But take that with a grain of salt because that's pure speculation. Now, this is a darker, more dimly lit photo. This is another angle, I think, of Basim's initiation. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see this scene within the game, actually, you know, rendered in a good cutscene, good footage. You walk in there yourself as the player, and maybe you press the square button and he cuts his finger off. That would be cool. You know, like in the older Assassin's Creed games, that part where Leonardo goes to give you a hug and you can press any button or whatever button it is and you can hug him. But if you miss the prompt, Leonardo's like, oh, and then you feel really fucking bad. Like, I remember when I did that, I didn't realize I had to push a button and I looked up and Leonardo was like, oh, okay. And I felt so bad. Honestly, I had to reload the save, I think, or I had to kill myself so I could go back. So maybe it's the same sort of quick time action. In the initiation, you press square as a quick time event and it happens. Again, this is just how I imagine it could work. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be because I am just as in the dark as you. But as we see, Basim actually has his hood here. So maybe this is a bit later in the initiation. He's already cut his finger off and they've given him his hidden blade and they've said, Basim, put your hood up, mate. I don't know. Next photo. Now, this photo is very, very intriguing and I have a lot to say about this. As you can see, that looks like Altair, right? Actually, that looks like 4 different Altairs. Of course, as you probably know, in the first Assassin's Creed game, it wasn't just Altair that wore those robes. It was every member, or most members, of the Assassin Order. Now, that was the Levantine Assassin Order in the year 1190-something, or something like that. This game, Mirage, is set to be around 200 years before the events of Assassin's Creed. Now, seeing there's concept art with the robes as we know them, honestly, this is so intriguing. Even though they're a third-party company that have created these concept arts, they'll have an idea of what the game's going to be. There'll be divulged information so that they can then create accurate reflections of what the game will be. So, if Altair is now here, or not Altair, but if Altair akin robes are in this game, it really makes me think earlier speculation of maybe us seeing the transformation of the Hidden Ones to the Assassin Order is really going to be in this game. Now, as we know, it took about 100 years from the events of Mirage to turn into the Brotherhood from the Hidden Ones. So I don't know how this is going to happen, but I can imagine maybe in the story, you know, they wear very similar robes to what we've seen in the CGI, and then at some point within the game, because I do believe, this is speculation, but I do believe the events of Assassin's Creed Mirage will take place over the span of about 20 years. I could be wrong, but from what I've gathered, that seems to be the case. If you look at the timeline in the Abstergo trailer they've done, which I've shown, it shows many years, and it's also making sense leading up to being the prequel to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and at the end, maybe he goes to meet Sigurd, and it starts with him being born, or him being a young adult. I don't know. But if many years are going to be passing within this game, I could imagine at some point near mid to end game, they start to adopt a uniform. Rather than all having different types of robes or whatever, they say, you know what, we need a more uniform. We're going to become more out there, we're going to be less hidden, we're going to be more of a faction, more of a company of people that know us for who we are. If that's the case, we need to represent ourselves properly, and we're going to adopt these new robes, this new uniform that every assassin will wear. This does make me think, why wasn't Basim wearing the same robes as Altair in Assassin's Creed Valhalla then, if they end up adopting the robes in Assassin's Creed Mirage? Perhaps the robes he was wearing was a modification of Altair's robes, because they did look fairly similar. Maybe he was wearing more travel gear, and Altair's robes. I say Altair's robes just because we obviously have only known Altair to wear these robes at the time. Now these are obviously just the assassin robes, but perhaps he was wearing a travel gear type thing, and what I'm calling Altair's robes are more of a within the city, within the fortress, a uniform to display yourself, whereas then you actually go out in the world, you wear more effective gear. I don't know. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on that as well. Now, the scene that we see here overall is 3 different assassins looking over one man stood in the middle of 5 flames or 4 flames. Is the man in the middle Malcolm? No, I'm joking. Is the man in the middle Basim? Perhaps. It's kind of hard to tell at this point. And it looks like he's also wearing Altair's robes. Again, Altair wasn't born at this point, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's just easier to call him that. This looks like maybe another ceremony of some kind, but it could also potentially be something within Basim's mind. As we know, he transforms from Basim to Loki. So perhaps this is a vision he's having, because this does look very gloomy, very dark, very mysterious. Maybe this is a vision Basim has. Now, why the Levantine assassin robes would show up in a vision is beyond me. We'll have to wait and find out. Again, I'm just spitting facts. No, I'm not spitting facts. I'm spitting thoughts, because none of us know, but it's good to speculate. I do say that a lot, but you know. And we actually have one more photo. Now, this photo is Basim and somebody else stood in kind of a passageway, a doorway in what looks to be Baghdad. Now, obviously, it's not the same, but it reminds me so much of Edward Kenway's robes in this photo. I think it's just the angle, the lighting, the way he stood. But do you know what I mean? Where it just gives you that Edward Kenway vibe. What we can only assume to be Basim here is stood with, I don't think that's Rashan. It looks like a young person. And obviously, we know at this point, Rashan is around 50, 60 maybe. And this person looks like they could be 17, 18, or they could be 30. I don't know. But it doesn't look like an older person. It looks like they've got black hair with some sort of hat, or it looks like they could have blonde hair with a shadow going over the bottom of their hair. I'm not too sure. One thing I will absolutely end game myself is if that was Cassandra, mate. Honestly, don't even get me started. I don't even know why I mentioned that. Imagine. This is a cool concept photo overall. I like the vibe, a very warm feeling to it, a very Baghdadi feeling. Baghdadi, mate. What? So I know this video is a lot more rambly. I'm just giving my thoughts, my initial reactions as I see the photos, and then we can speculate from there. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing. So yeah, overall, this is probably going to be one of the other characters the developers have mentioned being or playing a big role in Assassin's Creed Mirage. So, you know, this could be another character that we are yet to see, that we might see in a gameplay trailer. Hopefully gameplay, fingers crossed, or a, you know, some sort of reveal. Overall, we've got new gameplay screenshots, and we might have new gameplay, or we might not. Honestly, if you can't figure that out for yourself, then it's probably not a very good teaser. It's probably not. Or is it actually genius marketing? Because I'm talking about it, I'm questioning it, and the more I think about it, the more I talk about it, the more clicks Assassin's Creed Mirage gets, and the more hyped up it is, and then when we actually do get gameplay, it's even more of a bigger thing. Maybe they're just geniuses when it comes to marketing. Maybe they're driving us crazy because they know it's gonna get them numbers, it's gonna get them sales. If you can successfully win me over with gameplay, then I'm all yours. I'm easy at the end of the day. All you gotta do is, what is it they say? Take me out on a date. All you gotta do is buy me an orange VK, mate, and I'll come home with you. No, I'm joking. I don't know what I'm saying. Bro, no. I don't know why I said that. Quickly speaking of orange VKs, I actually met the Dark Destroyer the other day. I know. And no, that isn't a screenshot from Assassin's Creed Mirage. That is me with the Dark Destroyer. If you don't know who he is, then you don't know who he is at the end of the day, mate. This video is not about him. Moving on. If you guys did enjoy this video, then press that subscribe button and the like button to let me know you want to see more just like this, and stay in the loop with everything Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed Mirage. Again, I want to know your thoughts on this. This is such a debatable topic, and that's why I want a conversation going with all of you guys. I want to learn what your thoughts are. You could shed some light on this to me. I want you guys to let me know if you think this was gameplay footage, if you think it was a weird animation, or if you think these concept images are any more to go off, if they look good. If anything, I don't have to reuse images for thumbnails anymore because I've got some new screenshots. I know this was so rambly, and I feel a little bit weird. You know, sometimes you just get in a really weird mood and you're like, wait, when, you know, my last video was so precise, so pristine, and this is more like, wait. Just the way it goes, mate. When you subscribe to me, you're either gonna get me on my best behavior, or you're gonna get me going, wait, and being like rambly as hell and just like chatting some shit, basically. It's one or the other, you know. I love you guys. I will see you soon, mate. The Father of Understanding guide us. But obviously, we don't, mate, fuck those 10 blocks. Bye.